This next point I want to make clear. Man fell from dominion, not from heaven. You cannot go to a place you didn't fall from. The Bible does not begin man in heaven. It begins man on earth. Adam fell from dominion, his responsibility over the earth. He lost that. As a matter of fact, he subjugated the kingdom he was supposed to rule to someone else. And we know who that is. It's an unemployed cherub. And Lucifer made a big mistake. He got kicked out. And then he came to earth and tempted you with the same thing. Would you like to be like God, he says? Now, the only difference between Lucifer and you is that you were already like who he was saying you should be like. See, he was desiring something he could never be. He was tempting you with something you already were. And it worked. Write this down. The ultimate sin is self-doubt. The ultimate sin is self-doubt. What kind of statement is that? Well, if you study the temptation, Genesis chapter 3, that was the ultimate sin. They doubted who they already were. I mean, God said in chapter 1, they were like him in his image, in his likeness, in his nature, in his character already. Here comes Satan saying, you ain't really like who he says you are. So they doubted who God says they were in order to attempt to become who they already were. Scientists and psychologists have concluded that the number one problem of humanity is not money, poverty, sickness, or anything. The number one problem of humanity is identity crisis. We don't know who we are, so we're trying to be everybody else. We keep doubting our own ability, our own value, our own nature, so we keep putting on other people, trying to be. Matter of fact, some of us are so low, we become like animals, trying to be like animals. And that's why Jesus came. Jesus came to give us back our self-image. Now, he couldn't give us back our self-image unless he could show us what it looks like. So the Bible says God became flesh and dwelt among us, and we were able to behold. Behold means to look, to see his glory. What is glory? Nature. So we could see ourselves. That's why we love Jesus so much. You know, the people who followed Jesus in the New Testament 2,000 years ago, I mean, these were all kinds of people. Rich, poor, pagans, I mean, everybody, religious people, everyone followed him. Why? They liked what they saw. Why? Because they saw themselves. They saw what it looks like to walk on water and dominate the earth, or to speak to trees and they die, or to speak to fish and they fill a net, or to literally stop a storm. I mean, they saw the human spirit controlling the earth, and they said, I like that. So they followed him everywhere he went, to the point where they almost starved to death. And he took 3 loaves and 2 fishes and he multiplied. They even saw, my God, he controls atoms. He could split an atom in a roll and make it multiply. I like this man. No, you like yourself. You get it after him, God. You like what you saw that looks so natural. Why? Because it is. He spoke to a tree and they became shocked. He said, why do you worry about speaking to a tree? You could speak to mountains. In other words, what are you guys? Man, you've fallen so low that being natural is exceptional. I'm going to try one more time. He said, you have fallen so low from who you really used to be that being natural is exceptional. This last point, trapped in every human spirit is a hidden leader. And every man is searching for that dominion again. It's a very important statement at the end here. Every human fell from dominion, and that's what they're searching for. You always look for what you lost. Isn't that right? Come on, talk to me. You only look for what you lost. Let me tell you all something. This is going to blow your mind. Humans are not looking for heaven. You don't really want to go to heaven. I know what you want. Now, the extremist Muslim, Islamic people who perpetrated some of the terroristic acts, all of them didn't, but some of them have been involved in this. They blow themselves up because of the promise of heaven and 10 virgins thrown in. Now, why does heaven attract them so much? The same reason why it attracts you. You and the Muslim and the Buddhist and the Hindu are all motivated by the same thing, heaven. And that is not the motivation. Why do Christians do what they do? Why you stop drinking? You won't go to heaven, man. It ain't liquor. You want liquor bad, but you won't go to heaven. Y'all talk to me. You're motivated by the same thing. I used to be motivated by heaven. Heaven ain't my motivation no more. Heaven is dangerous. That's why the people would crawl on their knees up the rocks in Mexico and light candles and kiss the statue's feet and stay there and hang on and almost starve to death, because there's a promise that if you are faithful to a certain saint, then you will go to heaven. Heaven is dangerous. Heaven is causing the problems on earth. So, why is heaven a problem? I'll tell you before you go. Because heaven promises us what we are looking for. Follow me. What are we looking for? Dominion over our environment. See, the reason why you hate earth is because the bank owns your car, the bank owns your house, the bank owns your kids' tuition, the bank owns the clothes on your back, the bank owns your shoe, and they own your future. You are a prisoner on earth. They control what you do, where you eat, where you live, the whole thing. You are not dominating, you are dominated. You hate this place. The bills control your life. The boss controls your life. The company can fire you and hire you, and you are unstable, insecure. I mean, you hate earth. Earth is terrible. And then on top of that, here comes sickness you can't get rid of. And the doctors can't fix it. And the medicine can't cure it. And here you are on a planet where nothing is under your control. And you were built to control. So there's a promise of a place which says when you go up there, there's no sickness, no bills, no problems, no pressure, no fear. And then, woo! Okay, and I can't wait to get there. Why? You're looking for a place where you feel you are in dominion. That's why you love heaven. Heaven promises you dominion. The only problem with heaven is that the Bible never promises you dominion.